Have you ever had such a life-changing experience that you know 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 that you'll never ever ever be the same again? Well, throughout the last week, that's what happened to me progressively. And okay, all I can do is just tell you. Okay, so a lot of you know that my husband and I, Jose is my husband and I'm Mary. We've been Christians for about 40 years and we have been ministers since then pretty much. And full-time ministers for at least the last 20 years. Okay, so we do have living relationships with God, you know what I mean? But for a long time, I've known something was missing. I would like come alive when I was with other Christians. And I mean like really alive, you know. It wasn't fake. It was real. And it's almost like I would feed off of their energy, or I don't know. It's hard. I don't even know. I can't even diagnose it. But anyway, but when I would try to get alone with God, and believe me, I tried, my mind would go totally blank and I would just end up twiddling my thumbs. No, well, just trying. But you know what? I got so sick of trying that I just started just to watch TV all the time. My husband would be busy doing so many things, and then I got so addicted to my TV that became more important to me than even people. And people would call up and I would think like, I don't want them to interrupt my program. You know what I mean? It was really not good. Not good at all. Okay, so what happened last week? So we went to, and believe me, I wanted more, and I would ask God, and I would have my husband pray for me. I would have him pray for me. I tried, you know, like even after I gave up, I would still try. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to go back to what, my first love, you know what I mean? That living relationship with God. Anyway, it's hard to explain. So if you've experienced it, then you can relate. If you haven't, I don't know. Okay, so last week, there's my friend who my husband and I, she calls us her spiritual parents, but she has surpassed me a long time ago with her fervency, with her passion, with all of that stuff, you know, the thing that I was missing. So she invited us to her home in South Carolina because she was having a women's conference. This was the second annual one. I mean, last year was the first one. And I went last year too. She invited me last year and it was really, really good. But this time she felt like she should invite Jose too. And it was really, really, really wonderful. And so we were a week in South Carolina, and she also, so the first couple of days, her husband was still there. He went off on a business trip after the first couple of days, and my husband, you know, the four of us had time together, etc., etc. It was really good. And then Jose was banished over to our other friend's house because it was just going to be women. And she had invited other women from Florida, and were they all three from Florida? Yeah, I think. My mind's blank. Anyway, she invited some other friends of mine that I knew in Florida to come. And so there was a house full of us there. And longtime friends. And then on the days of the conference, it started Friday night and went through Sunday night. We all left on Monday. So the days of the conference, other women would come during the day. So one of these women that came is somebody I hadn't seen for many years because she had been living over in England. Well, she came back to the United States. And she was kind of like the guest speaker. So I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but everybody knows who they are. Okay, so my friend who was hosting us had felt like the one that just came back from England, who is the guest speaker, and I were supposed to share a bathroom. So the way her house is set up, it's a very nice big house. And, you know, besides the master bedroom and other rooms and stuff, on the top floor, there are four bedrooms, but two of them each share bathrooms. So, and each person has their own sink, but then they share the shower and the toilet. Okay, all of this is important, believe it or not. Okay. So, what happened was, the first night of the Friday night meeting came, and it was good and stuff, and it was good, but I just felt God tell me towards the end of it that I was supposed to be real and honest and open and share the bad state I was in. And so I did. I just said, it's like I raised my voice and I said, you see me very free here, but it was a little scary. And I said, you know, I got attention. I said, I want to be open. And I said, I need prayer. I have zero hunger and thirst for God. I've lost my hunger and thirst for God. I don't know how to go about experiencing Him anymore by myself. And I asked them for prayer while they prayed for me. Nothing happened. Nothing. It just continued to feel like dead, okay? Okay. The next morning comes, I wake up, and all of a sudden, I hear my friend going into the guest speaker who had come from England. She goes into the bathroom part, the shower part, gonna take a shower, and she starts blasting music. And then she starts to weep. I could hear all this happening. I could hear her crying out to God for more, for just that she just expressing her heart before God, just a living relationship, you know, the exact same thing that I wanted so badly, but I didn't know how to get. Okay, so I just heard her. It went on for such a long time. She was just weeping and talking to God and just like crying out to Him, but just with such life. You know what I mean? And at the end of her shower, she turns off the music. She's not crying anymore. She's not crying out to God anymore. She just exits the bathroom, and I hear that she's exited and the door shuts. Oh, I forgot this part. While she was doing that, this is so important, I was just about to brush my teeth in my little section that just had my sink. And it's like all of a sudden, I just stopped in my tracks. It's like the reverence for God came over me. It's like I knew that what I was hearing her experiencing I didn't have. And I felt dead. I felt dead. Dead. I felt like there's no way I can drum this up. And for a long time, I have to backtrack and say, for several months, I've been saying, God, I am sick of trying. I'm sick of doing any kind of living a false Christian life. I just want the Lion of Judah's roar. You know, only want to experience what's coming from the throne, your throne, from you yourself. Had been my cry for months. Even though I was dead, I would still say that to God. Okay. And then, so while she was doing all the crying out to God, I just stopped in my tracks. It's like I was frozen. And a reverence for God came over me. And it was almost like I felt like her crying out to God was doing CPR on me somehow. I still felt dead, but I knew that her cries to God she didn't even realize that they were cries for my life somehow. I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm just telling you what happened to me. And so she exited the bathroom, shut the door. Here I am in my nightie, just, after I just woke up, I looked a mess. I didn't care. I just went into the shower part, and I just got a boldness on me, and I just did a knock on her door. And she opened it up. She just had her towel around her. She was covered, but I just said, I need what you've got. I don't have it. I don't have it. I need what you've got. And she threw her arms around me. Teddy, stop it. She threw her arms around me and she just started to pray for me. I still felt nothing. Stop it. I still felt nothing. But after she prayed for a long time, just holding me, I just said, I know that even if I never feel, I will try again. I will seek you. I will follow you all the days of my life. I will follow you, God. I will follow you. I want you. I want you. And I know something changed, even though I still felt nothing. Then I went downstairs, and still felt nothing, and I was still, I would just be my joyful self to everybody, and nobody knew except my friend what had happened. But I just, chit-chatted and all that stuff. And then the meeting came. And the morning meeting, all the women had come and everything. And there was a time in the it wasn't a service, it was, just women speak, it's hard to, a women's meeting. There was a time when there was going to be some music. And I said, I want to say something here. They knew I had asked for prayer the night before. I said, I believe, and I told them what had happened to me. And I said, as a step of faith. I said, because everybody knew me, that I am not one of those people that likes to get up and I've never enjoyed like modern day Christian music. And it's like I just have sat there kind of dead, not wanting to experiencing it, wanting it to just be over so we could get on with life. That's terrible. I'm just being so real, but it's the way it is. I've just never gotten into it. But I said, I want to take a step. I explained to them what had happened that morning in the bathroom. And I said, I want to take a step, and I want to, even though I have never liked to dance before God, I've never liked to show my, emotion kind of thing before God, I want to take a step of faith And even though I don't know how to dance or anything, I want to just kind of move before God for this as a step of faith. And guess what happened? I did just that, and my life started to change. I started to experience God. It's like I went off into another world of just experiencing His presence. And guess what? It's like it has increased and increased and increased ever since. I feel like saying I was dead and now I'm alive, or I was asleep and now I'm awake. But it's like days have passed and I still am enjoying His presence in a new way. And I know, it's like I've got faith now to know that if it goes away from me, it's like, and I'm conversing with Him in a new way. It's like while other people are speaking and stuff, it's like I'm holding a little conversation in my head with Him. It's like all of a sudden He's real to me again. And I know that you probably think I'm crazy, and I don't care. Who cares? I'm happy. And I'm enjoying God. And I'm going to hold on to Him with all of my might. I'm never going to let go of Him again. And I pray that anybody who can relate to anything I've just said, I pray that God that you would just be bold to just tell God, just be real with Him. I don't feel you. I don't know how to experience you. But I need you and I want you to break through to me, and don't let go of Him until He does. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.